I know, you missed me.
Come on. Come on, BJ.
You missed me. You're so needy. Like always, that didn't change, did it?
God damn it.
Well, I think we found our 1 rep max, huh? I think we could do more than that. I think we've got 370 in us.
Fucking hell.
Maybe we overdid it. Well, good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you again. I think you know what today is. It's bench press day. That's right. Like we said, we're doing some max testing this week. But look who's back with us. We got the boys. They're both here. Paulu's over there sleeping on his bed like a king. And of course, Smoko needs to be the center of attention, right? The show dog. He won. He won some of your shows. That's amazing. It's good to have the dogs back. Feels like the home is full again. Even if it is a little bit more chaotic with them around sometimes. It's just crazy to not have them there. You miss them like crazy. So, what are we doing today? Well, as you can see on today's workout plan, we're not going to be doing a whole lot, but what we are doing is testing out that bench press max. We're going to be starting with that and then doing some accessory work to hit our shoulders and triceps a little bit more, just to give them a little bit more volume on this deload week. But mainly today, we're going to be doing a bench press max test just to set that baseline for ourselves as we approach this powerlifting block where we're going to be basing most of our lifts off of our 1 rep max percentages. Now, how are we going to approach today? How are we going to get it done? Well, we're going to just approach the weight knowing where we were in the past and what we've been able to do. See if we can get up to those limits and levels, but we might not necessarily actually hit a 1 rep attempt. What we may end up doing is hitting something for 2 or 3 reps, maybe even 5, and then calling it quits there. I would wager we'll get closer than 5 though. I'd wager we're going to be able to get closer to that 2, maybe 3 rep max lift attempt, and we'll be able to base our max off of that using some calculations. It's not too difficult to figure out. It won't be an exact science, and that's okay. For the things like the bench press, I don't mind basing it off of those calculations. I find that it ends up being a little bit closer to reality when we do it that way, meaning when we use that calculation, our max isn't actually too far off of what that calculation says. Now, what I have found is that when we do squat and deadlift calculations in that manner, though, they can be quite a bit off. You know, they can be a bit overestimated and maybe a little bit too high for us to actually attain. So I like to kind of slice a little bit off the top there, maybe go 90% of what that 1 rep max calculation tells us our 1 rep max should be. And honestly, that's okay from a training perspective. We're still going to be putting in a ton of work and a ton of effort. These are going to be some tough lifts and some tough days ahead of us. But establishing these 1 rep maxes is the first step in really determining exactly what we're going to be lifting, how much we're going to be lifting, and what that progression overall looks like over the course of the next couple of months as we do this first power building program. So we're not going to waste any time today. We're going to get right off into it with some bench pressing here in the rack. We're going to get set up. We're going to get our safety straps set up, of course. We're going to be using our clamps again because we've got the dogs in here. Don't want them getting in the way, and I don't want them getting hurt by anything. And we're going to be setting up the safety straps as well, just so that we're not dropping the weight on ourselves at all. If we do get pinned underneath it, that we can actually get the weight off of our chest. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get after it. Let's get set up, get warmed up, stretched out, and start slowly but incrementally increasing that bench weight until we're up to some working weights. See you over there. Are you ready too? You gonna go lifting? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Shoulders are feeling a little tight this morning. Kind of like we slept on a little weird. That's really all it is. All right, so we got our elbow sleeves on in the last set there. Practice how you play, right? We don't need the sleeves for 225. We really don't need it for anything under 300 probably. But if we're going to be using them, let's put them on. Let's start making use of them. Let's get used to wearing them and make sure they're fit right, in the right position, that kind of stuff, so that when we actually need them, or we're at that weight when we need them, we've got something good. Now, I don't use wrist wraps very often, actually at all, with the bench press, but on a 1 rep max attempt, I will wear them. We won't put those on though until we're north of 300, and then we'll start making use of those as that additional a little bit of gear to wear for our bench press today. So what are we trying to hit today? Well, I'll put up a graph here of the previous lifts that I've done. I use a little 1 rep max calculating app that allows me just to keep track of those 1 rep max attempts. And as you can see, we've hit some numbers, we've had some progression. So we're going to be trying to match what we've done previously. Now it looks like our last 1 rep attempt was in October actually, probably right before we started the cut. I would imagine, if I remember correctly, that we were just goofing around with Adam and Austin, having a good time, just kind of seeing where we were at. And we actually did make a small improvement right there, right before the cut. Now, it's after the cut. We've been in a caloric deficit for 3 months. Granted, we've been out of that for a week or so. But we were in a caloric deficit for 3 months. We very well may have lost a little bit of strength. We're not going to worry about that. We're still going to attempt to try to hit these numbers. You can see here in the app, what I was doing was using that 3 rep calculation. The app does the calculating for us to figure out exactly where we were at with regards to that 1 rep max. And we had 388 pounds as our 1 rep max. But for the lift itself, we did 355 pounds for 3 reps. That's what we hit. We're going to try to hit that same thing today. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do even more. Maybe we'll do 360, 365. I have no idea. It could be less though as well. So we'll take it in stride. We'll see what happens. We're taking decently long rests here as we start to work up to that weight. We're at about 2 to 3 minutes right now, and by the time we actually get up over these, this will probably be the last one below 3 minutes here. We'll start doing at least 3 minutes, maybe up to 5 minutes as we inch closer to that 355 mark. So we're going to hit 315 here for our last real warm-up set. We'll probably do 2 reps on this, and then from here we'll start making some incremental jumps up to, I would imagine, 335 on the next one. And then after that, we'll see where it takes us. Let's get ready for it. 315. Good. Now, we've obviously done quite a bit of warm-up here. Really easing into it, making sure we're fully warming up our body, getting all the muscles, all the joints, everything woken up. It's still, again, it's only barely 5 in the morning at this point. But we're getting everything in a line so that we can actually attempt these max lifts safely, first and foremost. But we're also warming up and making sure that we're practicing the right form, the right positioning, all of that stuff. When we're lifting on our own, it's even more critically important that we actually get in the right position for many reasons. Obviously, number one, we want to be safe. We want to make sure we're hitting the safeties the right way. We're not, going to drop the weight on ourselves. You may have seen, I don't know if I cut it or not in the editing, but I actually lowered the safety strap 1 hole after probably our second warm-up set there. It was just a little too high. It was hitting the strap just a little high before it was coming down on our chest. So now it'll sit on our chest, but if I let it go, it's not gonna compress our rib cage with 300 some odd pounds on top of it. So we wanna make sure we're all set up for that, especially as we continue to increase that weight. But one thing I find very important too, is the fact that we've actually gotta set up and make sure that we're at the right spot on the bench here. If we're too far back, if we're too far forward, unracking this weight is very, very, very difficult on your own. Now, I've been eyeing a set of monolifts for my rack for quite some time to help with that. And I think in this training block, I am actually going to pull the trigger and buy those finally, because I can tell you that when you're unracking this weight by yourself, it gets pretty damn tough to unrack it and clear the cup with the right leverage, the right positioning, all that stuff
while still being able to press it down and not hit the J cups themselves. I find the neck gets actually pretty darn tough with at least these stock standard Titan J cups, which are pretty deep. I would guess they're, I don't know, 3 inches deep or so. There's a lot of room there where some of the other J cups are going to be a lot more narrow, so literally lifting it up and then clearing that is going to be so much simpler. You know, you're maybe talking an inch, 2 tops of clearance, whereas this you're going to have at least 3 inches of clearance, depending on how far into that cup you're going to be. So all these warm-up sets, they allow us to practice a little bit more. They allow us to make sure we're getting in the right position, getting set up appropriately, so that when we're actually going for these heavy, heavy, heavy lifts right here, we're doing so with as much safety as possible and the proper setup too. All right, we're gonna put the wrist wraps on starting now. So let's get these tightened down and get after this lift. Okay, let's get after it. Good. Okay. Okay. Not bad at all. Happy with that one. 3 reps there. Could have probably gone for a 4th rep. One thing I have always struggled with, and I'm curious to hear your perspective on this and your comments on this, but for whatever reason, when I bench, only when I bench, that first rep is always so slow. It's like I'm apprehensive about where my chest is and how high it is. I don't know why I do it. Can't shake it. I'm sure I'm leaving some work potential out there with regards to, you know, furthering our 1 rep max, but what are you going to do? All right, that was 335. Let's up the weight a bit. Okay, let's get these reps on. 350. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Let's get some loud music going and get these wrist wraps on. Want to know what I'm listening to? Follow that link right there. Scan that code. I'll take it to my playlist. That's my everyday workout playlist. And if you're lucky, maybe one day I'll share my playlist of the heaviest hitting tunes. The ones that really amp you up. It's all EDM. So if you don't like EDM, I apologize. But I think it'll get you moving and grooving. That's the goal with it, at least. All right, let's do it. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Oh, that was so strong. We definitely had 3. Okay, we're going up again. Going up. That was awesome. Woo! All right, 360. Feeling pretty confident right now. Feeling pretty confident. Maybe we'll eat some humble pie, but I'm thinking we're going to be all right. So let's get these wrist wraps on. Find another nice loud song that we like. And get after this lift. Let's do it. 360. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, BJ. God damn it. Well, I think we found our 1 rep max, huh? 360 or so? I don't know. I think we could do more than that. So we're going to go for 1 more. I think we've got 370 in us. But I don't want to jump up that high right out the gate. So we're going to do 365. Make sure we can hit that. And then we're going to, if we hit it after a break, go for 370. I think we can frickin' do it. I really do. Let's do it. Gotta get this weight back up on the rack first. That's one way to drop the weight. Nothing like a Zercher hold to re-rack your weight. Okay, let's get amped up. Let's get hyped up for this one. 360. It's in the tank. I know it's in the tank. We just got to do it. We just got to do it. 355 moved so easy. Let's do it. Get strapped up. Loud music. Let's go. Fucking hell. Just going too damn slow on that descent. Too damn slow. I don't know why I do that. I really don't, but it is what it is. So, we'll call it 360 or so. It is, it's a good one rep max. It's a good one. We're happy with that. It's the first real 1 rep max attempt that we've done in quite a long time. So, after cutting for 3 months, there it is. 360. We'll see where we're at in a couple more months after some power building, huh? A little bit of slow bulking, some power building. We're going to get this all cleaned up and put away. And we're going to just do a little bit of lateral raises, some tricep extensions as well, just to work those a little bit more. The triceps are feeling pretty good at the moment, so we probably don't need too much of that. It is still, I know we just won 1 rep max attempted here, but it is still a bit of a deload week overall. So we're going to get this put away, do some light accessory work and some ab work. That's going to be the rest of the workout. I'll see you over here. All right, nothing too crazy here. Some 35s, lateral raises, stock standard. Nothing crazy. All right, 35 is just a little bit too much, smidge too much. I want a little bit better ROM, better control there, so dropping it down to 30. Not a crazy drop down, but coming down to 30. Crank out set number 2 here. That's better. Good. Okay, third and final set. Man, shoulders are a little bit tired after that max bench. Woo-wee! Maybe we overdid it. I don't know. All right, tricep extensions, pushdowns, whatever we want to call these things. We're going to hit at least 2 sets today. Might do a third. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I was pretty confident my shoulders would be good for those lateral raises on all 3 sets, but they were pretty fatigued there by the end. We honestly probably shouldn't have done that 3rd set, just being mindful of the deload week here, but that's okay. So we're going to take these really as far as we need to. I'm thinking 2 sets are going to be enough, but we'll see. Maybe we'll need that 3rd set just to start approaching fatigue and not really getting into fatigue like we were with those lateral raises. So let's get after it. Good, very good. All right, set 2. Definitely feeling these already. So this is gonna be our last set and do some ab work. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Okay. Alrighty. We are wrapping up for today. Got to do some hanging leg raises here. I set up my my seat here with about 100 pounds on it just to act as a bit of a backstop. I want to try to eliminate any swinging. I'm sure I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it. I've seen myself do it. So we're going to cut out the swinging by having this thing here just as a physical reminder of, hey, there's a wall here, right? Don't come back too far, essentially. We'll see how much it helps. I think it'll be at least a good reminder. You know, you got visual cues. This is more of a physical cue that, hey, we don't want to be swinging too far back. We want to be controlling that descent and not just swinging all the way back and then kicking it back up. Getting as much as possible out of these. Before we progress them even further, I'd like to add some weight. But first, I want to make sure we're actually not swinging back too far here. So thanks for showing up today. It was a good 1 rep max day. We got some good weight in there. Pretty pleased with that bench press. Honestly, cannot be disappointed with that weight. That's a huge weight. It's a really big weight, especially after a big cut for 3 months. So we'll see what the next couple months holds for us. As we move into power building, we've got our baseline. We can base our percentage lifts off of that and get after it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be squatting for a 1 rep max as well. So I'll see you there. Thanks again.